All right. I believe we're live. Yes. We are. We are live. So yeah. Greetings, everybody. My name is Pasta Guy, and oh, I'm all by myself. I don't have my co-host Cupcake here with me. So I'm completely alone on this one. So uh, they had family matters to deal with because apparently when someone graduates, they actually want to celebrate and stuff. Man, what could have thunk? But yeah. Greeting. I'm the one that's running the podcast. What are you talking about? You are not. Uh, okay, so yeah, as you can, hang on, trying to make sure that everyone can hear you guys. Okay, okay, there we go. Okay, you guys say something.
Undertoad.
Okay, yeah.
Undertoad.
Okay, okay, you got okay, they can hear you now. So yeah, yeah, as we have technical issues, yeah, so as they already said, yeah, this week on the Deterrent podcast, we're interviewing the people that work on Undertoad. So yeah, it if
Great
you
to be here.
guys if you guys would please introduce yourselves for those who may or may not know what Undertoad is. That'd be really helpful.
All right. Well, my name is Lucas. I am the creator and lead writer of Undertoad. It's what is Undertoad? Well, I like to think of it as a collaborative reimagining of Undertale's story set in the Super Mario universe.
I am Pat. I am the lead artist, and I also help with the writing.
Yes. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Kind
yeah,
of just do whatever.
Uh, well yeah, like I said, it's great to have you guys on. And as always, I have a list of questions that I will be asking you guys, but those in the chat, you are free to answer, to ask any question you want, and yeah, we'll hopefully answer as many as we can get to. So, first question, probably the most, probably the easiest question to really ask. How'd you guys get your start? What made you guys want to make Undertoad? So yeah.
Well, initially, when Undertoad was just starting in 2016, it was just me, and I had played Undertale. I was a huge fan of it, and I had loved the Mario series growing up. So when I saw that people on Reddit were starting to make these little comics for their AUs, like Story Shift and Inverted Fate, I believe Inverted Fate was before. It might have been after, but as I was seeing those comics, like, wow, I have this little idea too, and I think this is like the uh, the sprite comic as a medium is really easy to get into. So I thought, hey, why don't I scrounge up some stuff together and get a ball rolling? Really, that was it. 5 years later, I guess we're here now.
Yeah.
I
So
joined around, I think it was chapter 12. Uh, I saw Undertoad on Reddit for the first time, and I thought, wow, I like Mario. I like Undertale. This is pretty cool. And then me and Lucas were in like Discord servers and stuff like that, and we started talking
Yeah,
and we started becoming friends, and I was like, why don't I just work on this? So I joined
yeah,
around the midway point, so around chapter 12. I wasn't there
yeah. I
initially.
believe it was. I believe it was chapter 12. It was just me for like I believe, chapters 1 through 8, and then this girl joined the team, Star Fury, who goes by Galactigal now, and she was on the team for a couple chapters, but she's no longer with us. So it's the team has changed a lot of hands over the years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's glad to hear all that. It certainly explains a good amount, but yeah. What is there? One of the things I also wanted to ask you as one of the starting early questions. So the Undertoad is a combination of the Mario series and Undertale.
Yes.
So I'm guessing from what I've seen is like I'm guessing you guys took inspiration mainly from the Mario RPGs and stuff like Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi, and
Yeah.
and the OG Super Mario RPG, and
We definitely did, yeah.
which is a very good comparison, I think, because a lot of the writing in those games is actually pretty similar to Undertale's writing in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I am going to shock everyone here. I have not been a single Mario RPG. As much of a Nintendo fanboy as I am, I haven't been a single one. I played
Wow.
I played Super Mario RPG. Then got stuck at one point. Then I played. Then I played. Then I played Paper Mario, which that's when I was a lot younger and basically just and when I basically just download a bunch of games on the Wii Shop store without really thinking about it. Like, oh, will I actually be able to get into this game, or am I just getting it because I'm watching a Let's Play of it? And yeah, I played the first Paper Mario, got through one chapter, then I just kind of put it down. I have never played Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, which to a lot of people,
Really?
yeah, to a lot of people is kind of like saying, "Oh, so you're a fan? Oh, so you're a fan of film? Have you seen Citizen Kane?" No. The hell's wrong with you? But yeah, I haven't played the Thousand Year Door. I played Super Paper Mario, and I actually got to chapter 2 on that, but then I quit at one part. I think you guys know which part, because that's the part where a lot of people quit. Where?
The part with in the mansion with
Yes.
the hamster wheel? Oh boy.
Yep. And yeah. Switching over to the Mario and Luigi series, I played through Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. I got up to the like halfway point of the game, like after like Bowser got possessed by Cackletta and stuff, and
Hmm.
I didn't play Partners in Time because every time someone told me about Partners in Time, it's like, yeah, it's a good game, but not great. You don't have to play it. Uh, uh,
Wow.
I played Bowser's Inside Story, and I got actually really far in that game, but there was this one like giant battle boss that I just couldn't beat, and I was just like, I'm not even losing an actual part of the actual main gameplay, just at this freaking stylist blowing into the mic stuff. And
Yeah. There's a lot of that peripheral gameplay in Bowser's Inside Story.
uh, also, as a little side thing, FMS has joined the voice chat. Hey, FMS, how you doing?
What's up, brother?
Glad to see you here. Honestly, thought you might join the podcast, be in the voice chat yourself, but I guess that things didn't work out on that end. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. Played. Never played Mario and Luigi Dream Team. But I did play the demo of it, and I played the hell out of that demo. Like I used up all the uses on it.
Dream Team is pretty fun when the game actually lets you play it.
You mean when it's not tutorializing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I haven't touched Paper Jam, and apparently that's good that I haven't touched Paper Jam. And I haven't touched any Paper Mario game after Super Paper Mario, which apparently the only one that I might be missing out on is the Origami King, but that's kind of debated a good bit.
It is hotly debated, and for good reason. It's a very mixed game with a lot of good and a lot of bad.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just like it's. I liked how one reviewer described it. It's like it's like for the with the Paper Mario series. It's like for the last 3 games. Instead of having a usual teacher that's there, we've been having a substitute. We've been it's like and depending how good the substitute is it depends on how good it depends on how good the notes they got left. So with the first time that the substitute came in, they had no notes, and it was as bland and as boring as possible. Second time they came in, they had like a few notes, and this time they had like half the notes you would probably need to make a good Paper Mario game, but not the other half, like say a good combat system. Well, actually no, it is at least an interesting combat system. It's just not just.
Well,
it's just
if we're
it's
if
better.
we're referring to Origami King, it's interesting for sure, but it's far from good, really.
But I'm just like with Origami King. It's just like you're just. It was like almost there. You almost had it. You were so close.
The Origami King's battle system is alright the first few times you do it. Like, oh, this is kind of cool. But by the time I beat the Water Vellumental Temple in the Blue Streamer, I was sick of it.
At least
Yeah.
it's better than Color Splash and Sticker Star, though.
That's not a hard bar to pass.
No, because
Yeah.
the combat systems were bad. I'm just like with
The bar is
Nintendo. I'm just like,
underground.
guys. I don't know why you keep trying to reinvent the wheel when we were fine with just turn-based combat. It's not hard.
Absolutely.
You could have like added some new stuff, like a new badge system or something. We didn't need much, but you guys were just like, no, we're gonna fill it up all with gimmicks and stuff.
Sorry, can't have
Well,
turn-based battles because Mario and Luigi did it, even though Mario and Luigi is dead now.
Yeah, Mario and Luigi is flipping. Yeah, because after
The accessories are kind of like badges if you squint really hard.
if you squint really hard and just forget how.
Don't think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Origami
uh,
King's battle system, the problem with it to me is like it's interesting, like Pat said, when you play it like the first couple times, but to keep the player engaged, they needed to come up with different anime types and different like spins on the system so that you could really take advantage of the ring and the unique gameplay experience that it allows for. But instead, they just use like the same anime types for the whole game up until like the very, very last moment. And because of that, you only get to scratch the surface of this wildly interesting new concept. And it's really a total waste because of that.
Guys, they got partners back, sort of, kind
No,
of.
they
Not really.
didn't. No, they didn't. You deal a little more damage every turn. It's not. It's and they do it for you. There's no partners. They're fake.
And even then, the game's battle system is built around beating all the enemies in one turn. So the
Yeah.
partners will only activate if you manage to fail the battle system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
And then they do nothing
bad.
anyways. Bobby
Sometimes
over
they'll
here
miss.
only hits like half the time.
All of them only hit like half the time. They'll miss like half their attacks, and you don't get to control that.
Instead of this being a typical deterrent pockets, it's just gonna be three nerds just talk about Mario RPGs for an hour and a half.
Nah, let's get back to
Well,
the Undertoad.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
hope we don't spend the whole time, you know, moaning about Origami King, because if you guys let me, I will ruin this podcast because of that.
Switching back to Undertoad then, next question I had was, what made you assign which Mario character to an Undertale character? Like, how do you decide? Like, this character Mario's gonna be Sans, and and this character is gonna be Luigi, and all that. What made you guys decide on that?
So, Undertoad is a story that deals with the aftermath of a war that the main characters all lost. So, for us to really take advantage of that premise, we needed to put every character whose story we wanted to tell into a position where that story could be told. And I know that's kind of a generic answer, but it's the one that makes the most sense to me. Because, if you look at where the characters are positioned in Undertoad, it's not like... It's hardly according to how similar they are to Undertale characters. If you look at it at face value, it almost seems like kind of random and kind of like we didn't think about it, or we just wanted to put these characters in this place, but it's really all about the story.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've seen with Undertone. I've seen a couple of things of Mario going, "Do you want to have a bad time?"
Well, most people think that Undertoad is like lazy personality swap kind of AU comic, and it's
Yeah.
not.
Those
Yeah.
people are wrong.
And they don't pay attention to anything, so they don't
Yeah.
matter.
Honestly, though, it's like my personal favorite Mario character, Luigi, is I like his placement in the story.
Yeah.
Luigi's good.
Yeah,
Luigi's good.
yes, and I can actually do a somewhat good impression of him.
One common complaint people have is the inclusion of Cammy Koopa, because they don't know who she is.
It's less of a complaint and more just abject confusion as to why we would put Kamek in the story and make her a woman. As if Cammy Koopa is not a character who's existed for decades.
Apparently, you guys never played the original Paper Mario.
No, we didn't.
Most of the people who see Undertoad have never played Paper Mario.
So sad bastards are missing out on a great game.
It's kind of
It is a great game.
It's a little bit annoying sometimes that
It's definitely annoying.
so many of our audience, they don't get any of the reference that we put in. They don't get any of the little nods.
Yeah, I'm seeing better Donut Gamer. It's like it's not she's not the most prominent character in the main games nowadays. So it makes total sense that a lot of people wouldn't think that might think that she's an OC, because those kinds of characters are really prevalent in the Undertale fandom. But in terms of like putting OCs in Undertoad, like we're very were very reserved about that sort of thing. We wanted to tell established characters' stories, and Cammy is an established character.
Other than generic
Yeah.
NPCs, which we would have
Right.
to make OCs for, there is a total of 1 OC in Undertoad. That is it.
I like how FMS was just like, bro, make Waluigi Toriel. That'd be something.
No, thank you.
Hello, my child. Welcome to the ruins.
No, thank you.
yeah, just Frisk walks out the other way.
Let's hope that the chat doesn't spam us too much with the same old jokes we hear every day.
Yeah, we get a lot of unoriginal, like very tired jokes, and you know,
could you possibly give me some examples?
Anything related to character roles.
You mean like
Revolution,
Waluigi?
Waluigi, something. Why did you put this character here and not this character? Is it because you're homophobic?
Oh, you should probably elaborate on that one. It's a good one.
No,
yeah.
thank
I
you.
have questions.
No, thank you.
You brought it up. Now you have.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah. If you didn't want brought up, you shouldn't have said anything.
Oh man, I was hoping for levity, but now it's all about severity. So a while back in 2017, or maybe it was before that, we got like a barrage of angry messages on Tumblr, saying that if Peach and Daisy were in the positions in the story that they were, we were like contractually obligated to ship them together. And that's just not what I'm about. You know? Like, obviously, I'm not against anything, but just shoving people together for the sake of, oh, they did an Undertale, that's like the antithesis of what Undertoad is about. And I couldn't do it, even if I wanted to.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of get that. As myself, a fanfic writer there's a lot of time. I get it back in the day when I used to post my fanfic work to Undertale Amino, which, side note, do not post your fanfic and stuff to Undertale Amino, because most of the comments will either be like, oh wow, that's such great artwork, which was just a little title card thing, and I'm just like, thanks, didn't make it. I credited the artist two paragraphs right underneath the picture, but apparently you guys can say apparently you guys didn't see that, or a lot of the time you'll just get confused, people being like, hey, I don't understand what's going on. You would understand what was going on because this is chapter 17.
If you hadn't read the other chapters, like you can't understand what's going on.
Yeah, I know.
Unova Slankite, is that your name? Peach and Daisy are not related, actually. I guess some people think that, but they're not related.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, because Peach is from the Mushroom Kingdom and Daisy is from Sarasa Land.
My favorite collection of letters.
Yes.
Remember Sarasa Land? Nintendo doesn't.
No. Daisy's not from anywhere.
It was from one game, like one of the launch titles on the Game Boy. I can understand why they don't remember, and also Mario Land isn't all that good. So
well, Nintendo wouldn't remember something they put in a Mario game like 3 years ago. So
yeah, or 2 years ago, or Toadsworth.
Toadsworth.
Rest in peace, Toadsworth.
He'll
never come back.
Remember
He
you.
only came back. Well, he was in Dream Team, which was weird. It was like after
Was he in
they
Dream
forgot
Team?
he existed.
I like Toadsworth though.
Well,
I like
'cause
that. I like that.
Alpha Dream still knew Toadsworth. Alpha
Yeah,
Dream
Al-
knows how to use characters.
Most
but
of the time
but I
they do.
apparently can't make games that sell anymore, which was the problem.
Most
Well,
of
they
the time,
chose to
Alpha
remake.
Dream.
They chose to remake Bowser's Inside Story for the 3DS, which was a dying system anyway.
The Switch is
Also-
right there, guys.
The Switch is right there, and the DS is like not that different from the 3DS in terms of specs. I know it can run a lot of things better, but like the resolution doesn't really allow for a lot of, super impactful visual changes. So it just sort of looks like Bowser's Inside Story, but a little souped up and a little less artistically unique.
Yeah.
They also skipped Partners in Time for no reason at all.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, I know Partners in Time is like less, I guess, less popular, but it's a weird thing to skip it. It's like if I don't know, if Lucasfilm was remaking the Star Wars prequels, right? But they skipped Attack of the Clones because people didn't like that movie. Be
Well,
weird. They're missing part of the story.
Isn't like I don't get that remaking things because they're popular and skipping over remakes for things that are less popular. Is it?
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah,
remakes
that's the
for
thing.
improving things people don't like.
Yeah, that's the thing. With Partners in Time, you could have remade it and made it better because people are just so about it.
That's what remakes are like supposed to be for, I feel like. I
Yeah.
know that like, oh, this game made a lot of money, let's sell it again. Except it didn't work for Bowser's Inside Story, so clearly it's not airtight. You gotta remake. Come on. You gotta remake stuff and improve, not remake stuff and just make it more bland for a new system.
And that's the thing.
Yep.
A lot of the time with movie remakes, a lot of the time it's just like, yeah, they're kind of blah. With video game remakes, you can actually, a lot of the time, you can actually get some really good stuff, like Metroid Zero Mission compared to the original Metroid or Super Mario
Absolutely.
All Stars,
Yeah.
or Legend of or the Legend of Zelda, the N64 games on the 3DS, which.
Yeah.
Yeah, just all that stuff. They could have fixed the plot though. Hey, that's
Yeah.
I thought Bowser's Inside Story had a good plot.
I think they were talking about
Because-
Partners in Time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What's
they
that Funky
could.
Thor 64? They wanted to go with BIS because they wanted to focus on the father and son relationship with Junior. But Junior wasn't in BIS originally. So they could have done that with Partners in Time if they really wanted to.
Yeah. Nintendo
Also,
is like
I don't know.
Nintendo is the king of left field in both the best and worst ways when it comes to that. Like, it's the best ways. They'll just announce something out of nowhere, and people will just lose their shit, like Steve from Minecraft, or just Smash Brothers Ultimate in general. But then there's also stuff like, hey guys, hey guys, we're announcing a new game in this series, and it's just like, didn't this guy's get a new, did this series just get a new game like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, in the chat, Slandkite asked, what inspired you guys to combine Undertale and Mario together? How difficult was it deciding the UT roles to the Mario characters?
Didn't we just answer this?
Yeah.
I think we answered it at like a surface level, but to combine the Mario series with Undertale specifically, I feel like Undertale's story is a very unique and versatile situation, and a premise that can be applied to a lot of different established characters. See, those characters would all react in different ways to the premise of hey, we lost a war, now we're trapped underground. And I think exploring that with one of my favorite series like ever, Mario, I
Yep.
thought it'd be a great idea to push those characters in that sort of way and see where that goes.
Undertale is also a very character focused game, and the Mario
Yeah.
universe, despite what Nintendo wants you to believe, has a very, very large, diverse cast of unique characters. So we can
And on
use
top
a
of that,
lot
it
of
almost
those.
it almost never properly uses those characters. So if they
Yep.
don't, we might as well, right?
Yep.
Fine, I'll do it myself. uh,
Yeah.
or you
Thanos
can
style.
wait like several years for Alvin Airford to make the next Super Mario Brothers Z video.
No, thank you.
As for role assignment, yeah, about
No,
that,
thank you.
we don't care about roles.
We don't.
We have a very, very, very complex history with roles.
The concept in general, just the word and it being used as like a way for people to try to like pigeonhole us into certain
Hey
avenues.
guys, just a reminder that Isaac Newton is a Mario character, so he's possible. Yes, technically he is. Thanks, Mario's Time Machine.
Hey, so is Indiana Joe.
Everybody loves Indiana Joe, right?
The independent exploring babysitter with no face.
Burr, burr,
Yep.
burr, burr,
He has a
burr.
fear of Koopas.
Hey,
His
hey,
Koopaphobia.
may the pasta be with you
Phobia.
all.
True.
Jesus.
So
Uh,
Yeah.
I remember.
roles is like a thing we could just ramble on about for like 2 hours.
No, we couldn't. I would get very tired.
Oh, I'm already tired of it, but it's like something we hate that we kind of have to address in some form. We don't care about the roles, but people
Well,
they don't they can't give it up. They can't stop. They can't stop obsessing over them no matter how many times we're just like it doesn't matter.
go away. We don't
Stop
care.
thinking about
What we
it.
don't care specifically. What we don't care about is these preconceived notions that people have developed over the course of being in the Undertale fan community for as long as they have, and trying to push those beliefs and headcanons on us for really no like reason that's based in any sort of logic or sound reasoning.
Yeah, a lot of the time when it comes to a lot of the time when it comes to Undertale stuff, it's like a lot of the time most fans like think of like the base level like fanon versions of like the super like cut out versions of the characters more
Yeah.
than anything.
Definitely.
It for an odd comparison, it's kind of like comparing like say early Game of Thrones characters to what they ended up being at the end of the series. like
I've
oh
never seen Game of Thrones, so I really wouldn't know. I did hear that the last season was total forest fire.
oh well actually the last two seasons were Toil Earth Fire. It's just that people were like, no, season 7 wasn't bad. Yeah, all that stuff, they'll explain it next season. What do you mean there's only going to be 6 episodes next season to wrap all this stuff up?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in
It's
a
rough.
very fantasy mood lately. I've been Tolkien, Game of Thrones, a good amount of other stuff. So yeah, uh, Funky Thor 64. That is a good name. Said, is
Great
it bad that I much rather call Undertoad an original Mario story and not an AU?
No, I mean like
yeah,
that's
no.
that's what when you boil it down to the raw, that's what it is. But we associate with Undertale just because like that's where the idea for the story comes from, and that's where the visual
Yeah.
style comes in, and the concept of souls and a barrier and fiery, and you know, we borrow so much from Undertale that like it makes sense, but it's
Yeah.
mostly a style and a premise, and not
Yep.
like it has no bearing on the actual story really.
Just because there's like we take the style from Undertale doesn't mean it's going to be literally Undertale.
Yeah.
No, guys, it has to be it has to be where the characters are just in this you just change up the characters and the roles and and uh and you gotta and you have to do like the exact same story as it was originally, or else it's not Undertale AU anymore. That Sorry guys, that's just how the rules work.
There have been
All right,
dozens of times people have argued with us, the creators of Undertoad, about the role stuff because they'll be like, "Oh, but you have Fiery the flower. Isn't that just Flowey?" And it's like, yeah, that's the
yeah, I
point.
mean, that's like the whole point. Like it's obviously there's a connection because that's on purpose, but the connection has to stop somewhere it's so that the story is worth telling. You know, otherwise it's just a bunch of fun character designs, and that's that's fine. There's nothing wrong with doing a fun little exercise in character design, but Undertoad is meant as something more.
It's like you
Yeah.
give them an inch, they take the whole observable universe.
They take
Yes.
well that
Goodbye. I'm traveling at the speed of light.
yeah. Uh, but shifting it away from rules because we know because we could talk about this for hours, but but you guys rather wouldn't. Here's a interesting question for you guys. What is your personal experience with the Mario series and stuff? Like, I know I described my stuff with the Mario RPG and stuff. But what's your guys' experience with Mario? Like, what was the first game you played, and what was like the first time you were like, yes, I love this.
So I got a GameCube when I was 4. And on that GameCube was 4 games. It was Monkey Ball 2, great game, fantastic game. Sonic Adventure, Pac-Man World 2, and Mario Sunshine. And that was like my Mount Rushmore of games for the foreseeable future. But Mario Sunshine, it was my first experience with the Mario games, and it really, really stuck with me because even though Mario Sunshine is a bit of a departure from standard Mario conventions, it's it's a fantastic game, and it's a nice self-contained story, about a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Yeah,
It's a great game.
and and yeah, Super Mario Sunshine, or if you go for all the just required shines to reach the final boss, it's actually really great, like better than 64 and stuff. God help you if you go for
Yep.
those blue coins, though.
If you
We
think
don't
about
talk
it,
about the blue coins.
Sonic Adventure 2 and Mario Sunshine are really the same game. A guy gets wrongfully imprisoned because some guy named Shadow is running around telling people he's doing bad stuff as the first guy. Uh, and then on the other side, Monkey Ball 2 and Pac-Man World 2 are also very similar because you have a ball going around the world looking for some yellow fruit.
Lucas couldn't pass up the chance to talk about Monkey Ball.
It's true, I could never pass up the chance to talk about Monkey Ball. Best game.
My first experience with the Mario series is disturbingly similar to what Lucas said. I got a GameCube from my uncle at a pretty young age, and of the 3 games that I got, they were Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, and Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. And I
Fucking
played a lot of Paper Mario:
You
The
like jumped
Thousand Year
right in.
Door.
fucking great.
I didn't get to play.
Games, by the
Uh,
way.
I actually
I
didn't get to play
remember
Thousand Year Door until
Uh,
like I was 15 or 16.
I remember back in the day, people called Luigi's Mansion lame and stuff, but that was back when the internet for some reason hated Luigi. But Uh, but and now it's just like now everyone on the internet loves the tall green dude, which is great because he's my
Yeah.
favorite character.
They
Uh,
got some taste.
yeah,
Established internet opinions during like the late 2000s to early 2010s is really weird because like games that are considered like cult classics now are like generally loved by everyone on the internet. Just a few years ago, they were considered to be like really dumb and bad.
yeah, Luigi.
Like
I
Luigi's Mansion
remember
was
like
considered
specifically,
underrated.
it was like from a Screw Attack video where they were listing out the
Yeah,
top
me
10
too.
GameCube games, and they were just like, uh, and they were
They
just
call
like
Luigi's Mansion garbage.
yeah, and they were just like, Super Mario Sunshine is so much better than the first outing for the Mario series on the GameCube, Luigi's Mansion, and they cut to a clip and
Yeah.
they were just like so freaking lame. And then and I find that hilarious because nowadays Luigi's Mansion is just like everyone's just like, oh dude, it's so good. Uh, I would contribute a couple factors to that. One is the generational thing, like people, and now the Nintendo 64 GameCube generation is more
Yeah.
uh
That's the generation that everyone's nostalgic for now.
yeah, uh and yeah, my first actual experience with the Super Mario Brothers series, the first time I actually played as Mario, was I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I was over at my cousin's house, and they were playing Smash Brothers Melee, and me and my brother were like, "Hey, can we play?" And we're freaking fives, and we don't really, and we haven't really played much video games at that point. So yeah, so yeah, we both they were both like, "Hey, okay, we'll pick the characters for you and stuff." And they picked and both of us were Mario and stuff, and we probably did absolutely horrible because we'd never played that type of game before. But yeah, I have an interesting experience when it comes to playing the older Mario games because a lot of the time I would play them on totally legal and not pirated websites and stuff where I'd play like the original classics and stuff. I I'd play the original Super Mario Brothers. I'd play Mario Brothers 2. I played 3 and stuff. And I also play World, and it basically continued on like that until on my for uh until like finally my parents were just like, after getting me like a couple of game consoles, that were just like, oh, it's like the Wii, but it only costs like $20 and stuff. uh
Oh, you
uh
got one of those?
yeah. Then they were
Uh-oh.
just like, okay, you can have a freaking Wii, and yeah, that was the first like legit game console I had. No wait, now that I think about it, I I actually have an original Nintendo NES over there, the gray box and all that. That was my first legit console, and yeah, I have the original Super Mario Brothers cartridge. I have Super Mario Brothers 3 over there, and yeah, those were the first Mario games I played. And I and when I first got my Wii and stuff, I got new Super Mario Brothers Wii and Super Mario Galaxy, and I was pretty good at Super Mario Brothers Wii. I absolutely sucked at Mario Galaxy because that was the first time I ever played a 3D Mario game. I was just kept falling into pits and stuff. Not pits, more black holes that spaghettify you. But yeah,
Ooh.
uh, yeah, it's just uh, uh, yeah. Uh, the first Mario game I ever beat was actually New Super Mario Brothers Wii and stuff, and I remember when I did that, it was like this big achievement and stuff. But nowadays, I'm not. I haven't touched the game since I beat it, or any of the new Super Mario Brothers series, really.
I vividly remember getting a Wii for Christmas, and the 2 games that I got with it were Wii Sports because it came with the Wii, and Super Paper Mario.
Well, god dang.
Ooh.
Looking back, I don't know if Super Paper Mario was the best first game to give to what it was like 8, I want to say. Not that it's a bad game, but I don't know. I remember getting stuck on the puzzle at the end of 1-3 where you have to sit on a pedestal and press the minus button and the 1 button on the Wiimote at the same time.
Better donut gamer. The very first Paper Mario game I played was Sticker Star. Oh, that is just
Damn, I feel bad for you.
That is like being introduced to that's like being introduced to, like, say, Sonic the Hedgehog, and it was like, what was your first Sonic game? Sonic 06. Yeah.
I feel old when I hear people got introduced to the series from Sticker Star.
My first paper Mario game was actually the original paper. It was actually the original Paper Mario. A lot of like what games I played were pretty random back in the day because it was depending on what YouTubers I watched. Like, I was watching Chugga Conroy, so I was just like, oh, I gotta get Paper Mario and stuff, and Super Mario RPG.
I did also play Super Mario RPG as a kid. I also had Superstar Saga. I played a lot of Mario RPGs, if you couldn't tell already.
Well, yeah, because they're freaking great until they weren't.
Yeah, who knew? Oh.
Yeah, Super. The Super Mario RPG series. I'm just like, it's so, they're just like, they're such good quality products and all that stuff, and it really gives, like, the Mario universe just a lot more depth than the platformers ever do, and it's great. I love them. Well, most of them. Well, half of them now.
The Undertale fans tuning into
them.
this episode are going to be confused when it's just rambling about the Mario RPG games.
That's the thing with Mario. At least that's one of the good things with Mario. It's like everyone at least has some sort of knowledge on him. He's basically like freaking Mickey Mouse. It's like, oh, you may not like actually like know that much about him, but you at least know who the heck he is and a little bit about him. Like, even my mom when I asked him one time, I was like, okay, my mom, who's like actually pretty old, he's just like, I was just like, okay, Mom, what do you do in Super Mario Brothers? And it's just like, well, Mario has to save the princess, and I'm just like, yeah, I didn't think you would get that.
All right.
All right.
I think we should move on to the next question now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Also, FMS is just like, do I want to join the chat or do I not want to join the chat? Like, you can do whatever you want, buddy. That's up to you. But just know, if you join the chat, I will have to add all your links in the description. So yeah. Right.
How about those questions, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Which, by the way, chat, you're being pretty quiet. You can.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want. You can ask them whatever they want.
You know?
Well, yeah. Funky Thor 64. Mario and Luigi is dead. Paper Mario is at a low point, and Nintendo would even port Super Mario RPG and new to the Nintendo Switch and keep putting keep putting caveman games.
What's that? Games people actually like? No way. Play some Spanky's Quest.
Incorrect. Play Scrimblow Bimblow.
Put what's what's that? You want to play Joe and Mac? What's better?
That's not.
What's better,
Mac.
burgers or hot dogs? Burgers.
Hot
They're more
dogs.
versatile.
I don't know.
Well, the thing is,
Very
okay,
interesting question.
okay. If we're talking about like base form, like I would say hot dogs because hot dogs have more
Base
flavor
form?
than
As opposed to Ultra Instinct hot dogs.
You've heard of Ultra Instinct Shaggy. Now we have Ultra Instinct hot dogs.
Base form. Base form. Give me a break.
Okay. If we're talking about like them like just by themselves, I think hot dogs are better because hot dogs have more taste in them than your average burger patty does. But if we're talking about like if you're like putting them up with stuff, it's like I feel burgers are better because especially
Burgers are more versatile.
honestly, when it comes to me, it's like a lot of the time it's like I can't even really enjoy a burger all that much if it doesn't have bacon on it. Like as soon as you put bacon on a burger, it's just like yes, it just like gains like it gains like so much it's just so much better in my opinion than it is.
What are hot links? I'm seeing in the chat from Rigo
Hot
Limas.
links.
Is hot links are.
I mean,
are
if we're talking about
supposedly
Zelda, then
better than
that's
base
pretty
form
much
hot dogs.
base form hot dogs. And this is to go even further beyond.
Apparently, Undertoad is so uninteresting that we have to talk about hot dogs.
Okay, so
All right.
all right. Well, here's the next thing. Even though this is a Sprite comic and it's not like an actual game or anything, it is interesting for me to see like how you combined the two type of styles of stuff, like how there are platforming bits and all that, like platforming bits in Undertoad, and also RPG elements from Undertale. So yeah, what was the process of basically picking and choosing which aspects of which gameplay style were gonna be in the story and all that? Like how did you decide that? Like,
How did we decide which gameplay aspects?
yeah.
So, well, you have Undertale's base game, right? Because that's sort of the set that we're working with immediately, because it's it's an Undertale based comic, and then we wanted to add some little things from the Mario series just to make it feel a little more seamless with the links between Undertale and Mario. So we added things like jumping. Obviously, every Mario RPG has jumping in it. You can't really make Undertoad if Toad is confined to the ground. So just let him jump, and that changes everything about the world. You have to make maps that are more vertically oriented, and you have to allow for certain things to be reached. That wouldn't be reached in Undertale proper. If you had a big wall in Undertale, you couldn't get up there. But if that same wall is in Undertoad, you have to either have something up there or make that place inaccessible by other means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like how you guys like change up like the level design or overworld design, because they're not levels, the overworld design to fit more in line with Mario and stuff. Like, of course there's the aesthetic stuff, like, oh, there's like a whole bunch of mushrooms, and there's like grasslands or whatever and all that sort of stuff. But then there's like the actual, like, you change it to like where it's like, okay, if Undertale was a platformer, what would it actually do to the sections and stuff?
Yeah, how would that change how the world is made?
Yeah. When are we getting Undertoad 1-1? FMS, we are getting Undertoad 1-1 the same time that the next Mario and Luigi game comes out. So yeah, you have a billion years to wait. So good job.
Yeah.
Better
Sit tight,
Donut Gamer
get a
says,
seatbelt.
have y'all ever actually considered turning Undertoad into an actual fan game? If so, why did you decide not to? Games are difficult.
Game, yeah. As I
Games are
have,
extremely difficult.
yeah. Having game developers on like TS Underswap and and all that on, I'm just like, do you guys not know how hard it is to make a freaking RPG and stuff? Like even Undertale and stuff, which is pretty simple and stuff. It still took Toby Fox like a good like a couple of years to do that.
Years. Yeah. It's an incredible amount of work, and it requires a degree of cooperation that we didn't have until like a couple months ago.
Yeah,
So
and do you want these? And do you think these dorks know how to code games? They don't.
excuse me? I know how to code games.
Undertoad also has
I'm a computer science student.
several things that would make making a fan game of it even more time consuming than most other Undertale fan games. Like the platforming aspects, you have badges, you have power-ups.
There's so much that Undertoad builds upon Undertale's base game that we would essentially have to build one game and then a second game on top of it.
Yeah, yeah, with all the like little aspects of like oh yeah, it's not just like a typical Undertale fan game where it's like oh we change up some of the design and some of the aesthetics, maybe put in a couple new items, some new characters and all that. Here it's just like, okay, now we have to figure out like jumping physics and how this badge works with this thing and how this how this item works with this item and all that. And there's the possibility of Nintendo sliding in and slapping you with a copyright claim. Oh yeah, that's also a bitch. Just the idea of just like in the middle of everything, Nintendo just being like, "Hey, stop that."
Cease and desist jokes are kind of stale.
DMCA.
Yeah, they're a little tired. We get them a lot because everyone's like, "Oh no, better not let this one get too popular, or Nintendo might wag a finger at you and shut you down."
Nintendo isn't going to shut down a webcomic, guys. You're not funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if we tried to sell it.
Yeah.
But we are not stupid.
We're not stupid.
Hey guys, if you guys were selling it, that would be another thing entirely. Like, hey guys, hey guys, we're totally selling this sprite-based comic and all that.
Another question. Looking through chat. For
Yeah.
all of you, which is your favorite chapter so far?
So
favorite chapter of Undertoad?
So yeah. People are just like, oh, Nintendo like strikes down so many games and stuff. It's actually not that many. It's just the problem is it's like a lot of time it is games that are more high profile and also put a lot more work into. So yeah, just write a bunch of elf lines, and that is the coding of shebang. That's the code shebang.
Well, Nintendo shut down another Metroid 2 remake because they were making a Metroid 2 remake.
Yeah. Oh, Brielle in the chat asks, what do you guys think of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show?
Well, hold on. We had another question from chat that we were about to answer earlier, right? Heck? Which was our favorite chapter to write, was it?
It just said favorite chapter, but I'm going to assume to write.
Well, Pasta Guy, I assume for Pasta Guy it would be to read. So who wants to go first? I'm thinking about my answer right now.
I'm thinking
because there's a couple of them.
I really like chapter, what was it, 19?
Oh, chapter 19.
That one was really funny.
the whole Luigi fight and the aftermath of the Luigi fight. I think I was more excited to write the aftermath than I was to write the actual battle because
Yeah.
to I wanted to do the poker game and I wanted to have those characters interact in like a casual setting. I feel like that's where I'm best at the as a writer to handle
Uh,
things in like casual
uh,
settings.
the Luigi poker game. That brings me back. I played so much of the freaking poker game on my DS in New Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
Just especially
absolutely.
uh, yeah. Also that freaking bomb game with like the black and pink bombs. It's that's freaking
Oh, yeah.
that's
We
it's a
couldn't
it's so freaking
we couldn't
crazy.
resist having a reference to Luigi's Poker in Undertoad. It's just such an iconic thing about the old DS games.
Uh, uh,
Yep.
yeah. Also, Luigi looks damn spiffy.
He does. Great outfit.
Wasn't Peach a brunette in that show? But well, yes, you know it. But that was
What show?
The Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Oh, the Super Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh. But well, to get all nerdy and stuff. Actually, Peach didn't get blonde hair into Super Mario World. She was a brunette for the first three Mario Brothers games. So yeah.
That's true. That's true, yeah. It's weird, like thinking back on it. Like for a while, that's just how people knew Princess Peach.
Yeah, it wasn't even
She was
Princess
just
Peach
Official
blonde.
for.
art wasn't
Yeah, it wasn't even
brunette
Princess
though.
Peach for a while. It was Princess Toadstool in
Oh,
America.
is that right? Did they have colored official art of Peach?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Peach
Yeah.
was blonde since the very first Super Mario Brothers, at least in the official art.
yeah,
Really? I totally
Sprites
forgot.
sprites are different though.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
With
because you gotta make sure sprites account for the NES's palette limit.
A lot
but
of
yeah,
the old official art is more of a dirty blonde though.
yeah.
Hmm.
The with I always found it kind of weird. Like in Super Mario Brothers 3, like all the sprites are like all for like Mario and Luigi and all that are different and stuff. But when it comes to Peach at the end of the game, it's just like, oh, it's your Super Mario Brothers 2 USA sprite.
Yeah.
It's just that's just kind of odd. Uh, Dr. Mecca,
Most
what's your
games
opinion
use
on the Super Mario Brothers movie of the '90s?
I haven't
Oh,
seen it.
I have. I saw it when
And
I
I
was a
thank
kid.
myself every day for not subjecting myself to that pile of hot garbage. So
I
I'm not gonna watch it, and I have never watched it.
the
A
Super Mario
monkey.
the Super Mario Brothers movie, or how not to just make any film or adaptation, or there was a movie. Yes, you know it, but don't seek it out. It's bad. It's really bad. Like it's like like the only thing that makes you remember like, oh hey, yeah, that's the Mario Brothers movie. Is the characters are called Mario, and sometimes they call them the Mario Brothers. Also, there's like a
Yep.
T. Also, there's like a freaking Jurassic Park knockoff little baby T Rex thing, which is supposed to be Yoshi, which uh, which which is sad because the little guy Yoshi is like one of my favorite characters. Little adorable bastard.
Yeah.
How do you how do you feel about the rumors of an Illumination animating a Mario movie? Excited,
So,
ex,
um,
excited, but also
honestly,
scared that they try to make the Toads into the freaking minions. I will end everything if they do that because for how annoying for how annoying Toad is a lot of the time, there are actually a lot of interesting Toad characters in the Mario
so
universe.
about the new Mario movie, I don't. I hate to keep being the negative guy, but like, Illumination has made like one really good movie, and it was their first movie, Despicable Me, right? That movie was great, but I think the Illumination as a studio and as a creative team, they've kind of lost their way, and they haven't made a really great movie in a very long time. So I'm skeptical about the Mario movie, especially with all the rumors that are surrounding it. It just, of course, like it could be good. The Sonic movie was good, and that director's only other claim to fame was Nut Job,
Oh
which like
God.
no one knew what that was. But the movie turned out pretty good, and I think it was kind of carried by its cast, but it was pretty high quality, and I'm excited for the sequel. I am just as skeptical for the Mario movie.
Yeah,
This
like
summer, Bowser twerking.
Oh, stop! No,
don't,
it hurts.
I won't.
Featuring
I
Aziz
Princess
Ansari
Peach,
as
voiced by Kristen Shaw.
Ugh. No, thank you.
Mario,
Illumination,
voiced by James Corden.
where we adopt the Lorax and Lorax, the most anti-capitalist Dr. Seuss book, and have sponsors from SUV companies and IHOP.
Yep.
Yikes.
Hey, have you seen the Olive Garden? They got breadsticks, unlimited.
Dude, when you're
Oh
there,
my God.
you're family.
Oh Christ. Quirky Toad, character voiced by Ed Sheeran. Don't you?
Honestly, I don't hate Ed Sheeran. I think he's pretty good.
I.
And I would prefer Ed Sheeran to voice a Toad than for the Toads to have their normal voices, honestly.
Gal Gadot is Princess Daisy.
No, thank you.
Favorite Mario enemy? I'm a sucker for the red Koopa Troopas, mainly because my favorite color is red.
I don't have a favorite Mario enemy. I never really thought about that.
Mario.
If I had to
voiced by
pick one?
Justin Bieber. Get the FMS.
This is not something I've thought a whole lot about. If I had to pick one, it would be between the Cooligans from New Super Mario Bros. Wii, the penguins with the sunglasses, they slide on the ice, or the Charging Chucks, the football players.
I do like
those
charging
are
chucks.
assholes.
I also like
I don't know.
Dupligos.
They're balling.
Dupligos
Are
are good.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
What next? What do you got for us, Pasta Guy? Next question.
Getting back to Undertale and stuff. This is a question that I probably should have asked earlier. But how did you guys actually find out about Undertale?
I don't actually remember. Probably
a lot
saw
of YouTubers are
a
playing
let's
it.
play of it. Yeah, a lot of YouTubers.
Undertale
were playing
was
it.
exploding on YouTube in early September in 2015. So it was like the hot game at the time. So everyone's like, "Oh, you gotta play Undertale," and it was only $10. So you might as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on Steam. It's only $10.
Played
So, yeah,
it.
pretty easy to get into Undertale in 2015. It's harder to get into it now because while the fandom is still really big, there's a lot of exclusivity going on. And a lot of this fandom's toxic.
Have you read these several long tomes of Undertale fan lore? No, well, you're gonna be really lost, kid.
No, don't like. It's not about that. I feel like it's mostly about like this idea that fandoms can inherently be bad, or that they can like poison the reputation of a game. Because you know how there's people on the internet all the time who are like, "Ooh, I would play Minecraft, but its fans are so toxic," or like, "I would play Five Nights at Freddy's, but I hate its fan base." Like, that's something that
guys, those games are
diverts a lot of
single
people away
player.
from games.
You don't have to interact with them if you don't want to. Just
Exactly,
play the game
and
by
also,
yourself.
if you like the game, like you can be a fan of a game without being toxic.
Yeah. A lot of
Liking a
people
game doesn't
are
make you
like,
a bad person.
"Oh, the Undertale fandom is toxic," but then they
That's
list
what made,
the
like,
dumbest. It is, but they list all the wrong reasons.
That's
It's
the
toxic,
thing
but
with,
like
that's the thing
there's
with
good
like
people there.
that's the thing that I love so much about Super Eye Patch Wolf's video, like what the internet did to Undertale and stuff. Like a lot of the time,
We
it's like
weren't
people are just like,
mentioned.
Don't worry about it.
A lot of the time it's like, the when people like do a deep dive into the Undertale fandom, a lot of the time it's just like, oh, look at all the cringy kids lusting against the skeletons and stuff. But uh, but with Super Eye Patch Wolf was just like, he actually was like, hey, I actually like read up on this stuff, and there's a lot of good stuff in here.
Yep.
Absolutely. Like there's a lot of the Undertale fandom is full to bursting with incredibly skilled and talented creative individuals, and they're just, when everyone's lumped together and you only look at the surface, all you see is the cringy stuff, and that's what averts a lot of people away from the fan base. But there's great people and great creativity
Yep.
in this fandom.
But a lot of that great creativity doesn't get recognized because of a very large issue with the Undertale fandom in general. How they
Are we doing
treat
this now?
creators. Might as well get it out of the way.
All right.
People always say the Undertale fandom is toxic, but they always list the
And
most
it is.
surface level reasons like, oh, blah blah blah, shipping, blah blah blah,
They're cringe.
sans, blah blah blah, cringe. But the biggest
Cringe.
problem and the actual problem why it's toxic is how they treat the creators keeping their fandom alive in the first place.
Yeah.
And we have a large history with that.
We've been on the receiving end of that a lot, and I think that's what's like, it's some people like, they see us as these bitter cynics, and like I get it. We sorry, I dropped my eraser that I had in my hand. Uh, we've experienced a lot of this fandom that is less than welcoming to people with original ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the time, with I hear I've luckily been haven't been as a AU creator myself. I haven't been too barraged by stuff. Like, there's been a couple moments, especially when I used to post on Undertale and Vito and stuff, where like some people would be like, "Oh, you should write this the next chapter like this," and I'm just like, "No."
Yeah. It was mostly present in the earlier days of the fandom. I think it's mellowed out now as like, the fandom has dispersed a little bit and it's gotten a little smaller, and people have sort of settled into these more intimate circles of creators who are like them and they share ideas. When everything was sort of no man's land back in 2015, 2016, those earlier years, there was a lot of people sort of shoving these ideas onto people who didn't really ask for it.
It has mellowed out a bit, but it's still pretty prevalent, I would say.
Of course,
Because it wasn't as bad as it was back then.
All those people are still here.
Yep.
Crazily enough, they're still here and they're still saying the exact same things.
What other fandom do you get yelled at for not making your webcomic lazy and unoriginal?
It's crazy. It's stuff like that like gets thrown our way a whole lot, and they never say it exactly like that. But like, there's a sentiment where they would obviously prefer if Undertoad or other comics or AUs, if they didn't take different directions, if they did things by the numbers and basic, and didn't take a lot of risks with the stories.
There have been several times where I've seen people criticize Undertoad for, and I quote, having too much Mario, not enough Undertale. It's a Mario
Right.
comic.
As if that isn't like the whole point. As if people want like Papyrus to show up and do a little dance halfway through a chapter.
They would just want it to literally be Undertale, but we have Mario characters in it.
Yeah.
And I
And,
don't see
you know.
the point.
Hey, Vulture's here. What's up?
So
Hey, Voltra. You're
We-
going to.
We did see the thing better, Donut Gamer. We did make the Sans roll wear a jacket.
we did
but
do that.
It's not
but
enough.
It was,
That's not enough for some people.
what he was made in 2016, where the standards for AUs was entirely different.
Well, I think the problem is that the standards haven't changed.
True.
Just people.
Our
don't
standards have changed. Other
Our
people's
standards have
hasn't.
changed. Yeah. Everyone else, not everyone else, but
No,
yeah.
yeah,
The salt is
not the one from Striker. Shake my head.
There, we have a lot of salt, and we have to get a little bit of it out, and that's what this is for.
We're taking a little bit of time just to.
We don't want to come
Just to
off as too
empty our
negative,
tank.
but we have some very choice words about the Undertale
Yeah.
community.
Yeah, I can totally
leave it
understand
at that.
that. Like, again, what I was trying to get at earlier was like, luckily I haven't gotten too much of that because one, I am pretty small. I know. For as much as I like to say, like, oh, I did this thing in my AU and stuff. I'm small. I know I'm small. That's probably a lot of the times, like, especially the earlier shows where I was just like, hey guys, have you heard about my AU? Please go read it. It validates me. I mean, I would really like it. But anyways, and yeah, I just I've seen some like just like on the sideline stuff like like the stuff that like TC96 went through where they were just like, hey, my Frisk is a boy and stuff, and then apparently people like called him out for that, and that was
people do that. It's crazy. Like everyone has their own headcanons for what like Undertale stuff is, because Undertale is the game that leaves a lot open to interpretation, and that's great for a fan community because they can take that base story and run with it in their own direction, make all these beautiful branching paths, and I think the sort of backlash from that is you get these people who think that certain headcanons are gospel and they should be like adhered to entirely, regardless of the story that the creator is trying to tell.
Mm-hmm. Someone
it
brings
looks
up
like
in
FMS
chat.
has joined the chat.
Someone brings up in chat. AUs are basically Undertale fan fictions. Exactly.
They
But
are.
the fandom treats AUs as if they are a separate concept from fan fictions that you can treat differently. Like in a different community, you can't go up to a fan fiction writer and say what Undertale fans say to us on a daily basis
Absolutely.
because it wouldn't fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like people think that like Undertale, the Undertale fandom invented AUs for some reason. Like when I see like
They did.
Yeah, like I recently joined Omori fandom, yeah, because I've been writing like a fic, and like people think that just because you labeled your thing as I don't know, like an AU because it's a fic, and but not like they think it's like Undertale or something. Actually, a lot of people in the Omori community are kind of bitter about Undertale, and I don't know how to feel about that. Oh yeah, sorry for joining so late. I was just like getting a lot of cold feet after AIS. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vultra asks, is there a Mario game or series that will never be drawn for influence from Undertoad?
Sticker star.
Star.
Sticker star. Oh, and
I was
and
gonna
one more
say
sticker
I was
star.
gonna I was gonna jokingly say Hotel Mario, but oh come on guys, we have to do a parody of something from Hotel Mario at least.
Oh,
There's
there's
already a
another
hot-
one. There's another game we're never gonna draw from. It's a sticker star. Yeah,
And Color Splash.
mostly sticker star
Sadness.
though.
Mostly Sticker Star.
Yeah, like we already have a Hotel Mario reference.
We do.
Like,
Yeah.
It's so nice, but it's so nice for the princess to invite us out for a picnic. I hope she made lots of spaghetti.
I'm feeling like
have
no one
referenced
here
Hotel
has
Mario.
read Undertoad.
Barrel. We have referenced Hotel Mario in the comic. I'm surprised that like we're getting a lot
The
of questions
comic-
that
You have to
I mean,
reference
this isn't-
Hotel Mario. It's like the ultimate
We did.
shitpost Mario game.
yeah, and also in the Q&A video, we also referenced it there.
Oh, you
Yeah.
guys
there's
did
a lot of
Q&A
questions
video?
here that could just be referenced by like that could be answered just be like, hey, read the comic and you'll find out, right?
I mean, yeah, we probably could, but at the same time, you know.
I don't know.
No.
The comic's in a bit of a weird spot right now. We are
Yeah, it is.
redoing a couple chapters, and those remakes they change the story in a way that makes the first couple chapters hard to read.
Yeah, it's like a substantial change. It's like the old comic is like a beta in comparison.
Oh yeah,
You know,
definitely.
an alpha.
The comic,
Like-
yeah, it's in a weird spot right now because we're remaking chapters, but we're also the future chapters.
Present chapters.
We're thinking. I don't want to say
We're-
too much right now, but there's
We're planning a
some-
lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
For later chapters.
but
Painful
it
stuff
it
to
takes it takes
It
a
takes
while.
Yeah.
Like the chapters, upcoming chapters, require a lot of custom assets. Like, here's the thing about Undertoad. Other sprite comics, they can get away with using a lot of assets from Undertale. We can't.
We can't. Not anymore.
We used
Yeah.
to, but we can't anymore. So
Ever since
there-
we started season 3, we've been like, all right, custom assets for everything, which is cool because we can do whatever we want now. But like,
Somebody
yikes,
has to
a
do
lot
it.
of work.
Yeah,
There
somebody has to
are-
do whatever they want. But
there
someone has
are-
to do it.
multiple custom tile sets that we have to make for upcoming chapters.
Funky Thor 64. Hey FMS, just wonder you made a lot of official artwork for Undertow, but what else have you worked on?
We already have
Well,
a
if you want to
podcast
learn out
episode
about that,
so,
we did a
yeah.
whole podcast with FMS.
Yeah, I'm not here to like show my stuff. I'm just like because it's the Undertoad artist that makes.
Yeah,
the
you
art.
already had your own episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, here, man.
Yeah, you're the reason why we're doing this episode in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, of course. Okay, now.
Why are you
Right.
talking to me so much in an interview about Undertoad? Because
Very good question.
Because
Because we like you, Voltra. Of course. Why else?
yeah. Also, people know Vulture more than any of us, if we're being honest.
I mean, yeah, Vulture's a big name.
Vulture
and
made
she's
story.
also
Most
a huge
people
name
don't
for
even
that
know
shit.
her.
That's bigger than pretty much all the stuff we've ever made. So
Most people don't even know who made Undertoad.
Yeah.
to
Undertoad made by question mark.
Undertoad made by the Undertoad community.
Yikes.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah. Like, man.
to-
Some people don't even know there's a comic. Like, I was in a server, right? And all the channels were okay, no. But like, I was
Oh
in
my
a server
God.
and like, somebody.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, but like, I went to a server and like, somebody said they didn't like Undertale, and I was like, "Did you read the comic? Wait, there's a comic."
There's
And
the
that's
comic.
when I-
Oh my god.
That
Wow.
is
Yes.
the most common response when bringing up Undertoad. There's a comic.
It's incredible. I hate it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Either
Despite,
that or
like, how-
yeah, Undertoad is my favorite AU. I love that fan game.
It's incredible, really. how often we have to, clear it up.
Yeah. Alas, it is how it is. It's amazing how much people don't read.
Despite the difficulty
Crazy,
of
right?
developing the comic and series, how do you feel when you release a new chapter?
Good, man. Feels good.
Relief.
Feels pretty good.
Not
And
good to
then-
release it, but like the feedback is pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I think like there's an expectation when we release chapters that we'll be seeing an audience response that we can really latch onto.
Yeah, there's always that. There's always that just. Uh, there's always that thing where someone was just like, uh, 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 where whenever I release a new chapter of my stuff, I just like, one, I'm looking for like kudos and stuff because I'm on AO3, but two, I'm just like, honestly, like comments are what really keep me going. It's like when someone makes
Yeah.
a good comment on my story, it's just like, that's
Every
so
The
time-
good.
comments, we live for the comments.
Every time we release a new Undertoad chapter, we're like, all right, this is the one. People gotta love this one. And then
This is the one that's gonna make us big, guys. We're gonna
and then well, you get silence for 20 minutes. Someone goes, cool. And then
Great comic, guys.
someone posts a comment about the most surface level reference, and then
Yeah,
they don't
I-
read anything into it. Because for every time we release an Undertoad reference, people latch on to like one joke in the chapter,
Yeah.
and then they ignore literally everything else.
Yeah, don't even get me started on the GIFs. Like, I remember the latest chapter we released, right? And like, the only thing people commented on was the GIF. Like, the latest chapter was like, it had this thing that, the words was
yeah.
getting it, but like, the only thing people paid attention to was like 2 GIFs we had in it, and like, they didn't comment on anything else.
And
That's-
I appreciate that a lot because those GIFs, like the animations, they're hard work. They're like, it takes a while to do them. But they're just one part of the comic.
Yeah, yeah, I know you like the art, but like, what about the writing? Like, Pat and Lucas
We-
put a lot of work into it.
We are very, very proud of our writing, and everyone ignores it.
Yeah.
Hey, hey guys, don't you love how complex the characters are and the multiple like subtle references and just like wittiness to the dialogue? And then the fans like, haha, Mario and a
Guys, he mentioned Waluigi. Everybody laugh.
Yeah.
You get the very
All right.
stock sound effect laugh track.
Yep.
We got more questions, Pasta Guy?
Yeah, but I think we are gonna start wrapping it up because I need to eat. I haven't eaten
How
yet.
dare you eat?
Yeah, how
Will you
dare
hire
I,
a fucking
how
Thor
dare I
had
get
one?
sustenance for thyself?
Yeah. Funky Thor had a one. Will you guys hire some animators to make cute animated shorts for Undertoad?
That's not something we've really thought about.
No, not really.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks to like not have a solid answer to that, but I mean, we really haven't got the chance to really consider that. I mean, animation is a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of, people.
Yeah, it's a
of
lot
man
of.
hours, really.
Yeah, I'm studying animation. It's like, yeah, making a 1 minute short, it's taking us like a lot of time. Even we have breaks and such,
Yeah.
but yeah. I'm not sure if
you're
they mean like
referring
spread
to,
animations.
I think if you're referring to animating like actual chapters of Undertoad in like the little spritey format, I think that's more like that's a lot more feasible because we've done like bonus episodes where they're animated, they're like in video form, and those are possible. Those are not too hard to do,
We've
but they
been
still require a
thinking
lot of
about it.
cooperation. Yeah. we've been thinking about doing more of those, but they require a lot of cooperation.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of teamwork. From all of
But
us.
it feels like that's the one way to actually get attention in this fandom for once.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
The sprite comic format ain't working out.
Yeah, honestly.
It's tough, but sometimes you gotta make a switch. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I say? Can I say? Can I say? Can I? Can I say whenever some people say switch and stuff, I still sometimes I hear the freaking click thing from the freaking promotional stuff.
Undertoad on Nintendo Switch coming 2022.
I
Wow.
remember there
No
was this
way.
one guy. I remember this one guy that was like doing like an Undertale reskin of Undertale on the Nintendo Switch. I don't think that ever went anywhere, but like I thought that was pretty funny.
Eh,
You remember that? I'm pretty sure it was in the server.
I think so.
Yeah, I remember. Like we had, I remember like one of you like we had this one joke that like we want to ask like if they could ask a joke that like if you tap Cooper and the title screen like Cooper's stretch JPEG face with like red eyes would flash on the screen or something. I remembered. I remember. I distinctly remembered that part of it. I distinctly remembered that as that like that was a part of the conversation. Oh yeah, Cooper. Yeah, Understood
We
Amiibo.
love Cooper.
Yeah,
Everybody
Cooper's.
loves Cooper.
Yeah, Understood Amiibo when. You know, if I do end up learning 3D modeling, I will make like an Undertoad Mario model, and then everyone will
Who's
use it
3D?
under as a fun
Who's Cooper?
animations.
Is that an
3D
OC?
print the amiibo.
Who's Cooper?
No, there's no such thing as Cooper.
Cooper's not real. Wake
Oh,
up.
sadness. But yeah,
Anything else you got for us before we wrap up, Pasta Guy?
well, there, Undertoad amiibo win. No, well, there's always the question that I like to leave off on nowadays. How do you guys feel about your personal place in the Undertale fandom?
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
I think we might have a different answer than most of your other guests.
You go first, Pat.
Oh, you go first. I don't know how to answer.
Um,
It's tough.
I think there's a lot of bad faith discourse that this fandom participates in, and I think that not to still be negative again, but I think we've been on the receiving end of a lot of bad faith discourse from this fandom, and I think that there's a lot of work to be done to improve the general reputation of Undertale as a community and as a fan base. But I'm proud of the work that we've done, and I'm proud of how far this comic has come in terms of, you know, being a source of passion for me and Pat and the rest of our team.
I do love working on this comic, and I do love Undertoad a lot, but I'd be lying if I say that making it sometimes has been just a little depressing, not gonna lie, just because of the fandom in general. Like, you put all this work into a new chapter, and you try to look at the reception, see. Sometimes I look on the internet looking for new like fan art, see if anybody made anything about Undertoad, and it's always the same thing. It's just Revolution remixes over and over and over and over and over. And
Yeah.
the only fan art, if we even get any, is just, genocide Mario, blah blah blah. He's like Sans, woo. Never
Yeah.
anything
We really
actually
wish
related to anything we make.
we really wish people would look a little deeper into what Undertoad actually is, and not what people think it is when they read the title and see a picture of Mario in a hoodie.
It's a
there's
little odd how most of our fan content comes from people who have never read Undertoad. They know nothing about it.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
Yeah.
You can't complain too much. I mean, it's the Undertale fandom.
Yeah. But yeah, like working on it's great. Dealing with the fandom, not so much.
Yeah, I I can understand that, especially considering how long you've been in the fandom.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Hopefully, if we start doing some stuff that we've been thinking about, hopefully our audience will actually grow more and not just be, I don't know, stagnant.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. This is a call to action. Go check out Undertoad and all that.
There's been a there's been a lot of times where I've brought up Undertoad in like Mario communities, and there will be Mario fans who have heard of it but have been turned off due to all the Mario
Undertale fan base
Sans.
cringe.
Yes. Like
Yeah.
they look up Undertoad and they get bombarded with Mario Sans Genocide, Mario Sans Chain Chomp Blaster Revolution,
boy.
and they get turned off. But then I
Yeah.
would link them the comic and they would read it and they would be like, "Wow, how have I not read this before? This is great."
There's a barrier to entry that we didn't make. So it's tough to get people into it. We kind of have to convince each person individually, and that's no fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's it. We have a very complicated relationship with the fan base.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Again, I can understand that. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today's episode. Thank you all for coming. Thank you FMS. Thank you FMS for just dropping by and stuff, and thank you to and thank you to the rest of you guys for showing up. Pat and Lucas.
Thank you
Yes,
for
it's
having
great
us.
to be here. Yeah, thanks for having us.
So yeah. For next time on the Determined Podcast, I'm not really sure. Like, I tried to get a big name on. I messaged them and everything, and yeah, they just didn't respond. So I'm gonna have to do so. Yeah, thank you so much for joining the podcast. Yeah, guy. I'm not really sure who to have on next, but I will keep you guys updated. Hopefully, I can still get that big name that I wanted to get on last time. But yeah. So yeah, all of you have yourselves a great night. Take care, and stay determined, everybody.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast.
Thank you so much for to play in my game.
Hey, Mario.
All right, guys,
Go read
don't
Undertoad.
oversell it.
Yeah, sorry.
Stay determined.
All right.
What is that, Luigi?
So where are we
Is
making
that the
Revolution
bookwork for
Castle?
Sans?
Okay.
Hey,
Okay,
Mario,
yeah,
check out
dude.
this new comic. It's called Undertoad. It's got Mario Sans.
Mario
Luigi.
Sans. Isn't sans just a
Yeah,
Latin
yeah,
word for without?
bye.